All right, here we go. This is the very first podcast for the Finesse Basketball Association, the FBA. It's your boy Scarecrow here. Excited, man. There's so much to be excited about. First and foremost, man, let me just introduce, the two special guests we have on the show, man. Number one, let's talk about Fred, right? The overall commissioner of the FBA, man. First of all, big shout out to Fred. Like, Fred, you brought me onto your team. Like, it hasn't even been less than a month, man. Less than a month. And we've already accomplished so much, man. Like Fred's overall leadership, his willingness to number one, not just generate rules and regulations to create a safe environment for the league, but more importantly, the backbone and the courage to enforce them. Right, he's definitely been that backbone. So big shout out to Fred, man. Welcome to the show, man. Anything you want to say? Starting out, opening up.
Well, I would like to say, your Zoom recording made me consent before I started the show. So. But no, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad I got everybody on my team in the league. We got a good league going right now. Q, you've been amazing, just with your role in the league, and Casual as well. And I can't wait for playoff time, man. It's a lot of good teams in here.
Definitely. Speaking of Kaz, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. You was about to say something else, Fred? You straight? All right. That's a bet. So yeah, man. So now just speaking of that, man, Kaz, man, big shout out to Casual too. Y'all can see him or whatever. Man, like, that's my partner in crime right there. Big fan of Casual and everything he's doing, both on and off the court. Man, he prepares. Dude prepares, man. I couldn't pick. If I was in Fred's shoes, I don't think I could have picked a better, just a better partner, just to kind of help and be that presence. Just the maturity both on and off the court. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we start talking about the MVP race. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but man, if y'all just look at Simply Great and what they're doing, and specifically what Casual is doing on both sides of the ball, that's key, man. Not just being a weapon on offense, which is kind of a generational thing, right? Everybody loves to play offense, but also really preparing to defend. Man, Casual's doing it, man. Casual's doing it. If you had to, if you had to talk about that MVP race right now, even though it's early, you have to talk about your top five. There's no way you're leaving them out of it. No way possible. So, Kaz, man, thanks for joining us today, man. I'm excited. Anything you want to say? Kind of open it up.
First, I want to say thank y'all for having me on, man. This is a blessing, man, that we able to come together, work as a team, and then work as a unit to get this league to where we trying to get it to. Appreciate Fred for bringing me on board. Appreciate you, Q, for rocking with me, man. I know we don't know each other that well, but it seemed like I've been knowing you my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to thank y'all for that. I guess we get the show going.
Let's go. Let's do it, man. So, hey, so let's go ahead and open up. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about are the new standings. The new standings with everybody's updated records, right? Everybody's updated records. So first, let's start off with the Eastern Conference, man. Let's start off with the Eastern Conference. Here we are. Man, this team has come out of nowhere, right? They were one of the replacement teams, and now they're 5-1. They're hot, man. They're hot. They wound up knocking off really one of the most dominating teams in the league in elite standard, right? It's crazy what elite standard has been able to do just throughout the years, man. They're one of those teams that's been playing together, since 2K17. Just the continuity that they have, and just been dominating in leagues before this, even before the FBA. So for a brand new team to come in and knock them off, man, it's insane. It just speaks to the competitiveness throughout the league. You got Backwood. They're a talented team. There's no doubt about it, right? At number 4, we got Certified. AMC Legends. Hey, look, AMC over everybody, right? We may not necessarily be winning a lot of games right now, but we're learning, right? We're definitely learning. So I'm gonna always be biased when it comes to my boys, right? AMC over everybody. And then another team I really want to talk about, man, because I just think it's special, right? I think there's something to be said for those who are watching the podcast and you don't know the backstory, right? That number 16 is the Immortals of Silence. And the reason they're called the Immortals of Silence is because their team has legitimate disability, and they are deaf. The reason I think it's special is because with that disability, they're still finding a way to play together and win, right? They knocked off Certified Ball Hawks earlier this week, right? And Certified is a legit team, right? The Immortals are absolutely a legit team. They're absolutely a contender. You can't count them out, right? Despite their circumstances. And I just think it's special. What you think about that, man?
I think it's incredible.
Yeah.
I think for a team to be able to have that type of impact in the league, not just the way that they're playing the game. Yeah. I think it's a special team.
Yeah.
And I would like to play against them eventually in the league in the future. But
yeah, for sure.
Immortals
for me, I gotta give them a huge shout out, man. For them to play with such a disadvantage when it comes to communication, you know what I'm saying? They 1-5, but their record really don't show that they've been competitive in pretty much every game they've been in. So I can't do nothing but give them a shout out. They point guard, I can't think of his name off top right now.
Samurai. Black Samurai.
Yeah. Hey, Samurai is hooping, man. Samurai is hooping out here, man. I got to give him a huge shout out. And I know they're going to eventually turn it around, but like I say, that's a great story over there, man. That's a great story. And I wish more people can hear about it, man. That's I love to hear stuff like that, man. Yeah. That they not letting nothing stop them from competing. You know what I'm saying? They're not using no excuse. They just getting out there and they going out there to ball. So that's where I'm at with it.
That's man. Big ups to them, man. Big ups to them, and just looking forward to seeing them put together more games, man. Really, they're a fun team to play against, fun team to watch. And it's hard not to root for them, right? Obviously, we have our own loyalties to our own teams, but when you see them on the court, man, it's hard not to root for them, man. That's actually the team, right? Even though they're 1-5, that's the team that can like really capture the hearts and minds of all gamers, all e-gamers who watch the league, watch the podcast, follow the FBA. It's hard not to root for a team like that, man. So, big shout out to them. Now let's move on to the Western Conference. Things are heating up. Man, things are heating up. So look, before y'all say anything, let me just say this. I feel like right now in the entire league out of either conference, I feel like Team Domination, which is the newest, they're even newer than the V-Longs, the newest team in the league, Team Domination, they are the hottest, absolutely the hottest team out there right now. Mm-hmm. But they just got knocked off recently by the most dangerous team. So Casual, he gonna play the humble role because that's who he is, right? He's mature, he's humble. That's just who he is. So I'm gonna brag for him. Listen, nobody, and y'all gonna see it on the stat line too. Nobody in the league prepares the way Simply Great does, the way Casual does, right? No one does. And I'll tell you, I would not, before watching the game, I would not have picked Simply Great over Team Domination, just seeing that their brand of ball. But I'll tell you, man, like he's just one of those individuals that watches film, studies, figures out what your strengths are, and then forces you to do something else, right? Which is why Team Domination got that first loss. And then that's also why y'all see Simply Great is on top of what might easily be the deepest conference of the two, right? And there they are at 5-1, man. It's been a sight to see. It's definitely been a sight to see. Yeah, so hey, Fred, over to you. Like, what you got for the Western Conference, man? Think we may have lost Fred. Might have lost Fred. Bet. Hey, Casual, over to you, man. What you got to say about your team, dude? Like, y'all are really doing it. You're really doing it, man.
I want to give a huge shout out to my boys, man. Curtis, Rose, my young bull master, Justin. List goes on and on. Paint. List goes on and on, man. Day in, day out, I do my best to prep my team. You know what I'm saying? I do my best to prep my team, and they take heed and they listen. You know what I'm saying? They never have a problem asking any questions. They always prepared. So I'm proud of them, man. We got a lot to work on. I know we 5-1 right now, but we got a lot to work on. You know what I'm saying? Sure. But the rest of the teams, Team Domination, V-Longs, et cetera, I know that's on another conference, but I see a lot of talent in this league, man, and I'm proud to say that we a part of it. Definitely gonna have to look out for Stay Frosty, Team Domination, and Tay Mafia. Man, we got a deep conference. So I know we number one right now, and I want to keep it like that. But it's gonna be extremely tough moving forward, trying to make sure everybody stays below us.
Yeah, man. No, definitely. And just now, real quick, just two more quick backstories. Y'all know I'm an AMC legend, right? So big shout out to my guys, all of them, like my guards, Breezy, Ghoul, Kai, my dog Oops, Huncho Savage, you know what I'm saying? Just the whole Memphis side, Savage, Ghost 48, all of y'all. Well, I think one thing that is kind of making us special is we're learning from other teams because we're so inexperienced, right? So we're learning from the Simply Greats, we're learning from the Elite Standards, right? We're learning from Tay Mafia, and y'all will see, when I drop the all the actual the stat sheets, when I drop them all in Discord, y'all gonna see we actually gave Tay Mafia a really good game, man. We only lost that game by like 5.
So sorry, fellas. I had to take an important phone call.
Oh, you good? No, you good, Fred. You good. You know what I'm saying? We drove on, man. We drove on, you know what I'm saying? So but no, just, big shout out. And so with Tay, like just real quick, Tay Mafia and Stay Frosty. Stay Frosty is definitely one of those really like offensively high powered teams, right? Manny we scrimmaged them or whatever in the preseason. We haven't played him yet, but I can already tell, Manny is definitely one of those guards that's borderline unguardable, right? And so
Manny is tough to stop.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And then with Tay, here's the history behind Tay Mafia, man. I feel like, they won the league overall. They beat Elite Standard in the championship after being down 2-1. All right, so they were down 2-1 in the championship last year. And then Tay brought his team back, right? And they wound up finishing them off. So for the two teams who made it to the championship last year to not be number one, neither of them are number one in their conference as of right now. Here again, I think that speaks to the depth of the league overall, right? And so, and then quick backstory on Xavier and Space Jam. So Xavier Musketeers, they used to be called the Old Geezers, right? They are the team that we actually saw them. We played them in ranked pro-am. Their team captain, shout out to Trevor. We played them in ranked pro-am. We wound up beating them by like 1 or whatever. It was a really, really close game. Fast forward a couple months later, we found out about the FBA or whatnot. And so team, okay, I see that. Okay, got it. So we found out about the FBA. We invited them, right? So they changed their name or whatever, but that's the Old Geezers. They held the #1 spot in pro-am for a really long time. And then Space Jam, led by my dog Showtime, man. Showtime, he goes way back. He go way back with us, with AMC. He been running with us for a long time. He got his team out there. Right now, I got it. They 1-5, but Casual said it best. Don't let the 1-5 record fool you. All right, they're legit. They can beat anybody on any given day. So man, here again, it just speaks to the depth, the whole depth of the league. I said, let's go ahead and move forward, man. Let's get these predictions under the way. So, all right, week 3, here comes the schedule. Let's do it. Game 1 of week 3. Y'all know that there's 18 games every week. So every team gets to play 3 total games every single week. So the matchup, game 1 matchup for week 3, you got Team Domination. All right, Team Domination off the rip against Elite Standard. Bro, this is going to be an exciting matchup, a really highly anticipated matchup. I'm gonna give my prediction first, man. It's tough. It's tough. It's always tough to ever pick against Elite Standard, against Lockie and his guys, what they doing. And against my man Bunch, man. I'll talk about Bunch Daddy later on, but Bunch is right now, he's a force to be reckoned with down low. Like he's leading the league in every stat when it comes to just the bigs right now, which we'll talk about later. So it's hard to pick against them, but golly, I just don't know if they're gonna stop the momentum of Team Domination. I'm gonna go. It's tough, man, but I'm gonna go with Domination in a close one. I'm gonna go with Domination in a close one for this one. Who y'all got?
I'm gonna go Elite Standard.
Yes. Who you got?
I feel like matchups make fights, man, and I've played Elite Standard a few times. I just played Team Domination. Team Domination as a collective they're extremely talented. You know what I'm saying? Led by their PG. It can get hectic out there if you can't get a nail on them. But Elite Standard, man, they are exactly that elite defensive team, man. They are elite on that end of the floor.
Yeah.
And the way they run their offense is not traditional. They have a 6'8" point guard, and they necessarily don't run five out. You know what I'm saying? They don't run five out, and they also have a big who can pretty much space the floor, but
That big
also
man's
grab
phenomenal.
pretty much every rebound. And then on top of that, their half shooter got a 99-3 in Gunt. So they are a team where it's like they're not traditional, so it's extremely hard to beat them.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with elite standard, man. I'm probably gonna give a score of maybe 55-51.
That's a bet. That's a bet. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not even courageous enough right now to even put a score on it because I just feel like it's gonna be one of those nail biters, man. Like down to the wire, down to the wire. To the point you made. Casual. I gave you a lot of credit earlier just about your preparation, and just kind of how you approach the game, how you approach each game. Big shout out to Lockie, man, because he's definitely one of those individuals that's a high preparation type guy as well. Not necessarily just him. One thing that he told me on the phone the other day that I thought was profound, and so I'll just share it. He and his guys at the beginning of every 2K, they sit down and they have a build making party. Like that's the level of preparation. They literally sit down and the five of them in party chat and they make their builds together. Oh, you putting your perimeter defense up because you're gonna be okay. You're more in the ring. All right, I'll pull this down. Or whatever. They're doing it together. They're not just individuals deciding, oh, it's my game, and I'm, nobody bought the game for me. I'm gonna do my own thing, right? Man, that level of continuity and synchronization, when you can make five people play as one, build as one, and plan and prepare as one, man, that's tough. So I'm probably gonna wind up regretting my pick. I'm probably gonna wind up regretting it, but I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna here again, team domination, like they're kind of hot right now. I'm gonna stick with it, and but we'll see if ES pulls it out. Let's go to the next one. All right, so game 2, Backwood Trappers, the 3-3 Backwood Trappers against the 1-5 Space Jam Shotters. Man, this is going to be another good matchup. I'm gonna tell y'all, Casual, I'll let you speak to it more, but I really feel like Space Jam, and any given day, depending on their lineup, or depending on who they're bringing, Space Jam has enough IQ to really beat anybody, man. So, but I'm gonna let y'all go first before I pick mine.
I see Backwood. They split their first 3 games. I think Space Jam kind of has to win this game.
Yeah,
they have to be hungry for this game. If anybody's hungry to win this game, it's gonna be Space Jam. So I'm gonna go Space Jam.
That's a bet. That's a bet. What you got, Casual?
Okay, so Space Jam. I said Space Time. Space Jam is an interesting team. We actually played them for the first game of the season, and they gave us a pretty hard time. It was like I want to say the game was like 55-51. I want to say.
Yep.
When they're locked in defensively, they can be extremely tough to beat. So Backwood Trappers is a really nice team too. Both teams are really better than what their record shows. So it's gonna be a tough one, but I think I'm gonna roll with Backwood Trappers on this one.
Okay. All right. So I have the luxury of having played both, right? So a lot of the individuals that are on Space Jam either ran against AMC at one point or used to run with AMC. So I know Wiz, obviously we know Showtime, but I know Wiz, Say, all of them, man. And so I kind of know what they're bringing to the table. Backwood, we've only played Backwood twice, and we obviously we didn't beat them either time. But man, they can flood you. Backwood can absolutely flood you, right? If you're not careful and you start missing shots, they can definitely flood you. I just don't know if their style is going to be as here again. I think Space Jam just has a lot of IQ on the floor. I do. I genuinely believe that here again that their record doesn't show it. But I'm gonna choose Space Jam on this one. I'm going with Space Jam on this one. Next, game 3. Let's go ahead and fly through these. All right, so you got the 3-3 Xavier Musketeers, aka the old geezers, right? Oh wow, against us. Here we go. All right, so I'm recusing myself from this conversation. All right, obviously I'm biased either way. I would never pick against my guys. I would never pick against us. But yeah, man, keep it honest with us. Like, what y'all see in this matchup?
All right, so from what I've seen, I don't believe I've seen the Musketeers play yet, but I have seen Q. I have seen your team play. I think you guys will get it together. I think communication is a big thing for you guys. But once you guys are all communicating and once you guys are all locked in, you guys are more than 2-4. You guys are one of the best teams in the league. So I'm gonna go AMC and hopefully Q gives me that triple double he's been chasing all season so far.
Let's go. Let's go. What about you, Cass?
I don't want to be too long. I watched a few of Xavier's games. Really good team over there. Really good team over there. But with that being said, I do feel like AMC is finally starting to turn the corner. They finally starting to turn the corner, man. So I think I'm going to rock out with AMC in this one, but in a low scoring affair, it's probably going to be 60 to 51.
That's a bet. That's a bet. I appreciate it, fellas. We'll see if we can live up to that, man. Here again, big shout out to Trevor and his squad, man. They're doing good things. It'll be a fun matchup for sure. Let's go ahead and fly through it. All right, so game 4. Here we go. Here it is. All right, you got the 5-1 Simply Great. And they are playing against, wow, how ironic, because we just got done talking about them, right? This is special. This is special. Look, so I'll go ahead and start us off on this one. I think as much as I love watching the Immortals play, and here again, we just played against them very recently, and they're a special team. I'm not going to pick them over Simply Great right now, right? And that it's not a bias thing. It's just an assessment right now. I don't think there's anyone who prepares for the game better than Simply Great. I'm not just saying that because Casual's on the podcast. I mean, here again, I'm watching and I'm observing, and so their level of preparation is through the roof right now. So I'm going to take Simply Great on this one, and I don't think it'll be that close. I think Immortals will play a really strong one in the first half, but I think preparation wins through 4 quarters. What you got, Fred?
I've seen Immortals of Silence play already. I haven't. Oh, thank God, I haven't seen Simply Great play yet because obviously they've been running through every team in the league, but they're 5-1. I think I think they have it. I think the matchup is a little lopsided. That being said, Immortals in Silence, they could squeak a game out. But I'm gonna go Simply Great, and obviously they're Simply Great. They're the best team in the league right now. So
yeah, there's no arguing that.
I'm going to exclude
I know this your
myself
squad.
out of
Anything you want to say?
No, I'm going to exclude myself out of this one, fellas. But I will tell my team if they watching, I'm on you. You better be prepared. We don't take no games lightly.